Well, actually, I want somebody to blame, and I don't know who to blame.
Well, we think this is really good because, you see, some self-survival things. So here you are, you'd really rather be someplace else, but for whatever reason, you haven't figured out how to make the money flow. So then someone who has bailed you out on more than one occasion bails you out, so to speak. It offers you an easier financial way of going about that.
Yes.
And instead of that stirring appreciation and gratitude in you, instead it stirs what? Personal ineffectiveness. In other words, did it amplify your sense of self-value, or did it diminish your self-value?
It diminished my self-value.
And that makes you mad.
Yes.
So we think that the quagmire that you're in is that someone does something that's really very nice, actually. But in their doing something that is actually well-meaning and rather nice, that instead it makes you feel even less effective. And so we think that's the vibration that is most troubling and is stirring the deepest within you. And so you talked about it being a vibration of anger or a vibration of rage, but beneath that we think that there's a vibration that is sort of a vibration of I'm unworthy or a vibration of I'm incapable. Would you say that that's in there somewhere, and that
Yes.
it's a deeper, more resistant vibration than even the rage?
Yes.
So now feel with us how that anger that you are directing primarily at your father, and some at yourself, but feel how that anger that you are directing there, feel for just a moment with us this new refreshing idea that you haven't thought of or felt before, of how it was an improvement in the way you felt, and therefore it was good for you to choose that feeling. Can you feel any of your power coming back and acknowledging that it's all right for you to feel angry, and that it's better for you to feel angry than to feel unworthy?
I can. I feel more comfortable where I'm living than I was formerly, actually.
All right, so now let's take this feeling of anger and tell us again, where are you directing most of that? What is it that you're angry about? Because this is crucial. Now feel this. So here he is. Can you feel him right here? You can feel where he wants to be. So if you're angry at your father, does it move you closer to where you want to go or further? What do you think? It is closer, isn't it? If he is mad at himself, does it move him further or closer? Very good. So now you can pat yourself on the back again. Not only are you angry because it feels better than that unworthiness or that disempowerment, but you've chosen a pretty good target to be angry at. Good job. So now are you beginning to feel even a little more powerful? So now, where can we go from here? Do you think your decision to leave the place you were before and live here was really a bad decision?
No.
All things considered, it was a fairly good decision. So that feels pretty good. And even though you're uncomfortable in it, and even though there maybe are some other things that you're liking, can you feel how you're beginning to get your power back?
Yes.
So now let's think about your father, who is the subject of your anger. And let's see if we can find something about him that makes you feel a little less angry. It may be that we'll have to leave the topic of your father behind altogether to move, but can you find anything about your father that feels more angry, and anything about your father that feels less angry?
Well, actually, I feel less angry at my dad. I can see how much he is for me and not against me.
So who is the subject of your anger?
When I get really angry, it's God, life. I've taken it off my dad, because I see that he doesn't have my solutions for me.
So now are you putting it back on you?
So I'm putting it back on me.
So which way did he move with that? Further. So now we're really not trying to get you to get after your dad. We are trying to get you to get off your own back. And we'd like you off God's back too. Because there is nothing more disempowering than to acknowledge that life doesn't work when it does, or that whatever it is that God's doing isn't working for me because I'm unworthy. In other words, are you getting this spectrum? This powerful, beloved, worthy, expectant of well-being being is the optimum vibrational, emotional experience. And the opposite of that is sort of that I'm defeated and unworthy and incapable of allowing well-being to come to me. In other words, empowerment and disempowerment. And so you're wanting to move closer to empowerment. And so as you think about the circumstances, can you be mad at the circumstances?
Yes.
Rather than at yourself.
Yes.
And that's an improvement. And so now let's sort of wrestle those circumstances to the ground, and let's see if we can find somewhere in the anger some irritation that is lighter. So talk to us about it. What's your life experience been like?
My life experiences, I've been going from just enough, finding somehow in some way just enough dollars to just eke out a living in a small way. And
you see, the thing that, and we know that it feels like it's a little slow going here, but we think it's very beneficial. The thing that we really want you to hear is that this is not about money as much as you think it is about money. In other words, you think that here I am, I don't have enough money, my father's providing some means of support for me, and what I really want is more money, and if I could get that, then everything would be wonderful. And what we're wanting you to understand is that your financial condition is a result or a response to a vibration that you've got going on. And the vibration that you've got going on is, for whatever reason, I can't let money come to me. And the vicious circle that you're sort of moving around goes like this. I want to be a self-provider, but I haven't been able. I want to be a self-provider, but I haven't been able to be a self-provider. I want to be a self-provider, but I haven't been able to be a self-provider. My father gives me some money, but I should be able to do it myself. My father gives me some money, but I should be able to do it myself. And it's that vibration that I am not doing what I should be doing that you are so consistently beating the drum of that keeps the universe from being able to show you all kinds of avenues that would provide dollars for you. In other words, you're not stuck. You just keep recreating the same thing over and over again. So what we suspect will begin happening, and we don't think that we're going to move too much energy as we're here today. You'll hear more as we're moving forward. But over the next few days, as you find yourself feeling some true emotions as they come up, stop in the middle of those emotions, and for the first time, instead of trying to gloss them over and pretend that you feel one way when you feel another, instead take the emotion where it is and do your best to find a thought that gives you a little breathing room. And if you will allow yourself to feel a little anger at your father, if that gives you a little breathing space, we think that that's going to be improvement. We can feel that for whatever reason, you are not wanting to blame somebody else, even though it would feel better to you. And we see this quite often with a lot of you. You have, even as you were children, felt the disempowerment that comes with somebody trying to squelch your freedom. And when you feel that loss of freedom, which suffocates the air, and you lash out in your anger, in your overt anger that is being offered, those who are around you who don't want to see your anger then literally train that out of you to the point that so many of you are now turning all things that are going wrong toward yourself. And when you get in that habit of turning all things that are going wrong toward yourself, you almost can't find your way out of it. Now, the psychologist would say, well, it's not a good idea for you to shift your anger to someone else either, because the anger itself is a destructive behavior. But what we're wanting you to do is use it just for a little while as a little bit of a bridge. And you're going to come out into this place where you are not so ready to condemn yourself for where you are. And when you lighten up and don't condemn yourself for where you are, all kinds of things will break loose. We would like you to get to the place where you could say, now we'll walk through it with you. You may feel it and you may not, but here is the bridge that we would like you to take. I'm not very happy with myself because I've not been able to provide my own financial support. And I feel sort of unworthy. I feel very unworthy and incapable of taking care of myself when I feel that I should take care of myself. And my father has helped me, and I know I should feel appreciation about that, and I want to feel appreciation about that, but it's hard for me to feel appreciation when I have so much self-loathing going on about this. Now, we're exaggerating it slightly, but not very much. I am not wanting to feel uncomfortable with myself. I'm wanting to know that I'm a worthy being, but I'm not able to do that. And somehow I got into this predicament. I don't know how I got here, but I don't think that I did it all on my own. There have been many other factors within it, and I suspect that some of the reason that I feel the way that I do had to do with my relationship with others. And so I'm not going to take total responsibility for where I am, because I know there's been some co-creating that's been going on, and I really wish that my father had not been so ready to stand there and offer whatever he thought I needed, because maybe if he hadn't been so ready to do that, I would have figured some other things out. And maybe I wouldn't have discovered that I couldn't do it on my own if he hadn't been so ready to do it. That's really neither here nor there, but I am a little bit angry about all of that. And while I do appreciate on a daily basis what he does provide, I am really wanting to be able to provide some things on my own. And I'm still pretty mad at my father about it. I'm a little mad at myself, but mostly I'm upset with circumstances, not only with my father, but circumstances that have kept me from being where I want to be. And I'm really wanting to do a good job. I'm wanting to take care of myself. I really don't know how I'm going to do that, but I'm wanting to reach for it, and I'm wanting to look for opportunities to flow to me. And I am appreciating that I do have a sort of stable financial footing. I'm happy that I have at least attracted that. In other words, I have to give myself credit for what I have attracted, and I am surviving, and I am surviving rather well. I'm doing better than a lot of people, and that has to do with my point of attraction. Regardless of how it comes, no matter how anybody is receiving anything, my point of attraction may not be as bad as I've been condemning it to be. And I'm really looking forward to being self-sufficient, and I'm really looking forward to the universe offering to me. Now we've walked almost into some hopefulness. I'm looking forward to things getting better for me, and I'm feeling appreciation for where things are. And little by little by little by little by little by little, it will shift. But you've got something stuck in your craw there that you've sort of got to move through. And we suspect that within a week or 2 or 3 or 4, you'll be in a place where you are no longer feeling so uncomfortable about where you stand. And when you ease up on yourself, then the universe can yield all kinds of other things to you. You'll hear much more as we are moving forward.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.